Hey, how's it going, you two? Well, the first round of the 2025 college football playoffs is officially in the books. And yes, this is a post playoff game slash Eating Crow video. Yes, I'm happy that my Tide defeated the Oklahoma Sooners to the tune of 34 to 24. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. 34 to 24. My Tide went over to Norman, Oklahoma, and defeated the Sooners. But anyways, like I said about the post playoff, about the post first round playoff video slash Eating Crow video. Yeah, I'm here to eat crow. I'm one of the few Alabama fans that didn't think Alabama should have made the playoffs after that poor performance against Georgia in the SEC championship. You know, it's one thing to lose, but to lose that bad to a team you already beat, I was also taking cues from last season's, because last season Alabama started off hot. Then they slowly, as the season went on, they slowly trended downhill, started playing bad. So I figured it was that all over again because it looked just like it. But I am sorry, and I was wrong for not wanting Alabama in the playoffs. And yes, and under these circumstances, I love when Alabama proves me wrong. I love it, As far as Coach Kalen DeBoer, yes, I still call him DeBoer. Because as far as I'm concerned, the jury's still out on him. It's from what I've been seeing, he's not good at developing players, and it takes him forever to figure the simplest thing out. And to all the fans that I've been seeing on social media that wants to compare his first two seasons to Nick Saban's 2 seasons, stop it. It's apples and oranges. Nick Saban, when he arrived at Alabama, he got a busted Pinto. When DeBoer arrived at Alabama, he got a Corvette. The roster was loaded with talent, which Nick Saban didn't have that benefit when he arrived at Alabama. So it's two completely different things. And yeah, and from what I've seen in gameplay, DeBoer, he just ain't adjusted to the SEC yet. Come on, it's been 2 seasons now, and he ain't got a running game. And one time, Alabama was known for their running game. And for your fans that want to criticize people for insulting a player or a coach on their team and want to call them bandwagon fans, fuck you. Let me tell you something. If you ask me, a real fan is going to be pissed off if there's a certain coach or a certain play and hindering their team. They ain't going to sit back, oh, it's okay, let's give them a chance. How long of a chance you want to give them? But to say I'm not a real fan because I don't like DeBoer, as of right now, I still don't like DeBoer, to say I'm not a real fan, that's bullshit. Back when I was coming up, it was common for people to insult a player or a coach that's hindering their team. To me, people that sit back there and accept it and want to act like a fucking yes man, want to go agree with the majority. Oh, let's give him a chance. Oh, he's a good coach, and want to kiss his ass. You want to be a simp and a yes man, that's up to you. If you don't know how to have your own opinions, that's up to you. You want to go with the majority and worry about what they think, that's up to you. But I'm not one of those. I'm not a simp. I'm not a yes man. If I don't like a coach, I'm going to tell you I don't like a coach. If I think a coach is hurting my team or a player's hurting my team, I'm going to tell you I don't like them, especially at the time that they're hurting my team. I ain't going to like them or until they get better. But at the time I feel like they're hindering my team's performance, no, I'm not going to like them. I'm going to insult them. To me, if you do that, you're a real fan. A real fan ain't going to sit there and be like, oh, it's okay, coach. You get them next time, and sit there and fucking giggle when their team gets beat because of something that coach or player did or didn't do. So for you people that call them people that insult Coach DeBoer or any player on the team, you said they're not real fans, or saying they're bandwagon fans. Like I said, shut up and fuck you. That's all I got to say about that. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm nowhere near a bandwagon fan. I've been with Alabama through the bad years and the good years. I've been an Alabama fan ever since 1991. Ever since I was 8 years old. A year before the first SEC championship game. Yes, and Alabama won that game. Beating Florida Gators 28-21. Yeah, that's how long I've been an Alabama fan. 1991, ever since I was 8 years old. And when I was coming up, it was common for people to insult a player that was hurting their team or a coach. And yeah, back when Mike Shula coached Alabama, I insulted the hell out of him. And that's who as of right now, that's kind of who DeBoer reminds me of. You know, he don't strike fear into the players like Nick Saban did. And I know he's not Nick Saban. Hell, God knows, I know he's not Nick Saban. It never will be. But anyways, you got to strike fear into the players' hearts. You got to let them know if they fuck up, you're going to be on that ass. That makes them not want to fuck up. But DeBoer's like Mike Shula. He's a player's coach. He wants to be their buddy. Wants to be friends with them. No, you got to be their mentor. Not their fucking buddy. And the main thing I don't like about DeBoer and his staff, developing players. Look at Ryan Williams. He's still dropping passes. You know why Ryan Williams is dropping passes? Because he's trying to catch with this body. Come on, man. I was taught that when I played on my junior high team. When I was in junior high, or middle school, what you want to call it. I was playing football in middle school, and I was taught not to catch with my body. My coach ripped my ass for doing that. But yet, Ryan Williams is still doing it. And DeBoer, all he can do is sit around with the thumb up his ass and smile about it. It took him to this game, this playoff game, to realize how good of a receiver Lotzier Brooks is. I've been saying since I saw him in the Vandy game that they should start Lotzier Brooks in the place of Ryan Williams. He's a far superior receiver to Ryan Williams. It took him just now to start Lotzier in the game. Come on, man. You're the coach of the team. You at the practices. It took you this long to see how good Lotzier is. I saw it during the Vandy game. Well, in case y'all wonder, that's why I got a lot of problems with DeBoer. That's why, as of right now, I still don't like DeBoer. Yeah, he won this playoff game. I guarantee you it was less of his coaching and more of the talent that won it. When you got a team loaded with talent, shit, you bound to get lucky and win one. Which I'm not saying by any means Alabama got lucky. Like I said, they're loaded with talent. But as far as DeBoer's standpoint and Ryan Grubb's standpoint, they lucky they got that much talent. Because their coaching so far has been inferior. Inferior coaching, but superior talent, you know. Anybody don't agree with me, I don't care. We're all entitled to our own opinions. You fan your way and I fan my way. Instead of calling somebody a fucking bandwagon fan or something. Well, too bad assholes like that hide behind social media and do it. I would give for one to say it to me face to face. Can't say what I'm going to do because I want to get banned on YouTube, you know. So, but if you want to find out, I would love for one you come out from behind your computer or your phone and say it to my face. Call me a bandwagon fan. I would love that. Not saying what I'm going to do, but you ever do, you'll find out. But anyways, and you know what? I shouldn't say that. I should, you know what? I take that statement back. That's wrong. You shouldn't tell people that what you may or may not do or hint around about it. I apologize to y'all. You know, I wouldn't cause no harm to nobody in reality because, that's somebody's child. Somebody's child, father, brother, sister, But anyways, the bottom line is, let's just do it like this. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. Okay, where was I? Okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, guys. I got some of my pups running around, playing around, getting a little antsy. But anyways, like I was saying, forget what I said about, say it to my face. Don't even worry. Just forget about that. I'm going to just leave it at this. You fan your way, and I fan my way. Basically, what I was saying, if you got something to say about somebody, don't do it on social media. Be a man and say it to them face to face. Hell, at least they would respect you that way. I know I would. But anyways, where was I going with this? Oh, first, okay, DeBoer. Okay, yeah. Another thing, I don't know how true this is, but a lot of reason of Ty's bad passing has been due to the fact he's had a hurt. Supposedly the rumor is has something wrong with the disc in his back. That's another thing. And if it's true, that's also poor coaching on DeBoer. Not only that, he should have pulled Ty and put somebody in that's not injured. Especially with the back problem, especially if something's wrong with his back. He could have got Ty seriously hurt or even worse. And if that's true about Ty's back, that makes me dislike DeBoer even more. With DeBoer on even more. He should have pulled Ty and put in our backup. Ty is one of the few players we got nowadays that's obviously would play while he's hurt. Now, from his point of view, or from his standpoint, I respect him for that. That's true grit right there. If it's true that his back was hurt and he insists on playing and continue playing, as far as him, I respect him for that. He could have been like a pussy like Cuevas or Overton and run to the sideline and voluntarily told the coach he's hurt and he wants out. He could have been like one of them two pussies. But no, at least he tried. Don't get me wrong, even though it hurt the team. But that's on DeBoer. The reason why I'm giving admiration to Ty, because a player that still wants to play that's hurt, especially in your back, knowing that can cause serious injury, but you still want to play, that's when the coach should have took over and pulled him. And if that's true about his back, DeBoer let him stay in there. Saw that kid struggling, even though he was trying, but he was struggling. Shame on you, DeBoer, if that's true about his back injury. In actuality, if that's true, your ass should be fired right on the spot. You could have got that man seriously injured, or worse. Let him play with the slip disc or ruptured disc in his back or whatever it was. And if that's true, you should be fired on the spot. I didn't want your ass to begin with if you want to know the truth. I still say we should have done it. And this is who I wanted from the start. I wanted Lane Kiffin. Dude's the offensive mastermind. And he's SEC quality. He's got experience coaching in the SEC. He knows what to expect in the SEC. How the hell Alabama missed that, I never know. But I tell you what, if Ty really did have something wrong with his back and DeBoer didn't pull him, he should be fired and Alabama's AD should be fired along with his ass. And I don't care who don't like what I'm saying. And yes, I call Cuevas and Overton a pussy. left their team high and dry in the SEC championship. Because him sick and one, my foot hurts. And here Ty is playing with the hurt back. You know, you're going to have to excuse me on this. I do farm work for a living. You know, I work with the crew on the farm for a living. I do that kind of work. And if I'm sick, I had to take my ass to work. If I'm sick or hurt, I had to take my ass to work or I don't get paid. These guys are getting paid now. That's why I don't sympathize for people like that. Unless you're retired or on disability, well, this don't even have nothing to do with that. But if you're getting paid to do a job and you sit out injured or sick or act like you're sick or injured just because you got one of them jobs like most football players do that's going to get paid regardless, you're not only a puss, you're a piece of shit. A hurt back is a lot worse than a hurt foot. When you got something wrong with your disc, that's right there in your spine. And that man's willing to go out there and play, but you're going to leave him out high and dry because you little foot hurts. I don't give a shit if nobody likes what I'm saying. These are grown men getting paid now. And you know how I know? That they voluntarily told the coach that they were hurt and wanted to go sit out until they got better. Because if it's true about Ty being hurt, Ty was still out there playing. So that goes to show under DeBoer's regime, or whatever the hell you want to call it, under his tutelage, if you hurt and still want to play, he'll let you play. But no, them two, they leave Ty high and dry out there by himself playing hurt. I have no sympathy for that. Y'all getting paid millions of dollars. Well, I know not all y'all are, but y'all still getting taken care of. Hell, at the very least, you're getting a free scholarship that someone like me could never afford. And you get to sit out because you hurt. It'd be one thing if DeBoer would have pulled you himself. But DeBoer don't look like that type, seeing how he let Ty play with the hurt back, if that's true. And if that's true, Clavis, Overton, y'all be ashamed of yourselves, man. You saw that man out there trying and playing hurt. Y'all should have went along with him. I don't sympathize for people that get a break because they're sick or hurt. Because if I don't, whether I'm sick or hurt, if I don't go to work that day, I don't get paid and my family don't eat. I ain't some little punk that can just act hurt and sit on a bench while receiving a free scholarship. Earn what you get. You know, anybody that don't like my rant, tough shit. That's just how I feel about certain things. You left your teammate out high and dry. Well, let me get off this rant for a minute. Well, let me just get off of it. Anyways, and another thing, to the Oklahoma fans and all the Alabama haters that's saying Oklahoma gave that game to Alabama, fuck you too. No, Alabama took that game. It's funny, when Oklahoma beat Alabama, what was it, back in October? No, November. Back when Oklahoma beat Alabama back at the beginning of November. According to y'all, Oklahoma beat Alabama. But since Alabama beat Oklahoma, now all of a sudden Alabama gave that game away. Oklahoma gave that game away. Oklahoma beat themselves. To everybody that's saying that, quit crying and fuck you. Alabama did Oklahoma like Oklahoma did Alabama the first time. They took that game. As far as Mateer throwing that interception, Alabama got that turnover. Disguising the blitz. Or actually, in this case, disguising zone coverage. That's how That's how Brown got that turnover. I think that's his name anyways, Brown. Yeah, I think that's his name. I apologize if I'm wrong, but Oklahoma didn't give Alabama that game. Alabama took that game from them. So to all you haters and all you Oklahoma fans that's saying that shit, shut up and fuck you. You lost. You got your ass kicked. Deal with it. You can keep crying all you want. It ain't going to change the fact Alabama took that ball and shoved it right up your ass in your own stadium. So deal with it. You can cry and hate all you want. I don't care. And thing is, I don't have Oklahoma, the team itself, I have no ill will towards Oklahoma. Matter of fact, back when Oklahoma was in the Big 12, that was my favorite Big 12 team. Although Alabama's my favorite team overall, Oklahoma was my favorite Big 12 team. I always liked Oklahoma, especially in the Red River rivalry. I pull for Oklahoma. Because there's 3 teams in college football I hate, I never root for. Although if they played each other, I would laugh repeatedly because I know one of them's going to lose. But 3 teams I hate more than anything. That's Auburn, Georgia, and Texas. 3 teams I hate. And I hate it because sometimes, especially Georgia and Texas, like they host good teams, but their fans are the worst. I don't like them. And no, I don't hate Georgia because I'm jealous of them. I definitely don't hate Texas because I'm jealous of them. I hate them because of their fans. The biggest assholes in college football. Which I ain't going to say all Georgia fans and all Texas fans, but 90% of them, each fan base, 90% of each fan base are assholes. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Sore winners and sore losers. They lose, especially if they lose to Alabama, they want to cry and blame the refs. If they win, they don't know when to fucking let it go and move on. And in Georgia's case, even when they won, they cried and blamed the refs. The refs only reason Alabama got them 7 points. No, the refs ain't the reason Alabama got them 7 points. You know what helped Alabama get them 7 points? Your fucking players committing fouls. Committing penalties. What, you think they supposed to be allowed to commit penalties and not get called for it? Saying the refs did it and saying your players did it are 2 different things. When you say the refs did it, you're saying the refs cheated for a certain team. But no, that wasn't the case. Your players did it, and the refs just called them on it. That's Georgia fans' mentality, though. That's why they say. That's why every time Alabama beats them, they always say Alabama cheats somehow. They think every good play Alabama makes, they should be penalized for it, and they think for every penalty they get called for, they think every penalty they commit, they shouldn't get called for it. That's the Georgia fans' mentality. That's why they always accuse Alabama of cheating when Alabama beats them. But yeah, and Texas fans are just as bad. That's why I hate Georgia and Texas. And yeah, and I don't like Tennessee, a big-time rivalry of Alabama. And Georgia's not even my rivals. But I would pull for Tennessee before I would Georgia or Texas. That's how bad I hate them 2 programs. And Auburn. I hate them too. But them damn Barners, they've been, for the most part, quiet here lately. So they ain't been pissing me off as much. With that dumpster fire, they really can't be saying nothing. But no, 2 fan bases I can't stand. Well, like I said, 90% of them. I've seen some good Georgia fans. They far few in between. Like I've seen some good Texas fans. They're far few in between. But I don't like them. Yeah, that's the better word. I ain't gonna say hate, but because I don't like them. Let's just put it that. Let's leave it at that. Georgia fans, Auburn fans. When Auburn's actually sort of kind of doing something or got a chance to do something. Anyways, Georgia fans, Texas fans, Auburn fans, Don't like them. Can't stand them. I think I'd rather have a toothache and have to go to the dentist and have it pulled without Novocaine than to listen to a Georgia fan for more than 5 minutes. Now, you got some good ones, especially like that YouTuber, Uncle Lou. I love his channel. He has a great channel. There's some out there like Uncle Lou. There's some good ones. I know Uncle Lou talks shit, but also Uncle Lou's going to tell you the truth. There's a limit to his shit talking. Because after a while, he'll be serious and tell you about what he really thinks about the team at the time. But anyways, I'm sure anybody that's watching this, watch Uncle Lou. Unlike me, when it comes to doing the YouTube channel, he knows what he's doing. And speaking of which, so I can get more content out there and do more with editing and all that, I would appreciate it if you guys that are watching would like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. But as always, thanks for watching. God bless and roll tide.